we have not talked as much about this as others because, Rob, I'm sorry. Every day this week, when I turned on the television, whether it was First Take, whether it was Get Up, whether it was Undisputed, whether it was The Herd, whether it was, we didn't do it as much as others, but our show, First Things First, everyone was talking about Dak Prescott, a lot from the perspective of, is his job in jeopardy, because Trey Lance is either Dallas Cowboys quarterback of the future, or is he a threat to Dak, all that. Is he insurance in case they can't come to a contract agreement after this season? But there's another angle, Rob, and it's somewhat related to that. But I look at the Dallas Cowboys. I am not picking them to reach the Super Bowl. I am not picking them to reach the NFC Championship game. They're a very talented team. I look up and down that roster. I see a tremendous defense, one of the tops in the league. I see a nice receiving core led by CeeDee Lamb and the addition of Brandon Cooks. I see a running game. You and I both love Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn. A lot of people are excited about him, the young pickup they've got. I see a great one of the top offensive lines in the league. And I see a coach who, while much maligned, Mike McCarthy, has won a Super Bowl. The only question, and the quarterback is good. I used to be a big Dak guy. I still like him. He's definitely good. He's top 10-ish, right? Somewhere at the bottom of the top 10.
15-ish.
Definitely top 15. Definitely. But, in that top 10-ish range. But, Rob, I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again this year. If Dak Prescott is who he's supposed to be in many people's eyes, they should get to the NFC Championship game at least. And how much pressure? I think there's a lot of pressure on Dak because anywhere else you look, they're kind of set. The questions people have are of the quarterback. Not is he good, but is he good enough to get a team over the hump that hasn't been in an NFC title game in nearly 30 years and get them back to the Super Bowl? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think he has any pressure with the quarterbacks who are currently in the room, the quarterback room. I don't believe that.
I agree with
Trey
you.
Lance hasn't played enough for the Cowboys to be like,
we don't even know if he can play.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's not those guys, Chris. Nobody on the roster is his kryptonite or he should be afraid of. It's whether or not they just decide to do something else and not negotiate or not give him a deal, right? So that's he's playing against himself.
Right.
And I've told you from the beginning, I never thought he was the lead. And when they had their best years, it was when they ran the ball first and Dak made the throws, Chris, that you need to move the chains to get the first downs,
right,
and make plays. Like, he can play. And nobody's saying he's a bum. But I never thought if he throws the ball 40 times, you got a chance to win. If he's throwing it 40 times, you're probably down big, Chris, and trying to get back in the game. And we've seen the stat Padford kind of numbers from some of his best numbers have come when they're down 21-0, 21-7, and you get to throw in front of people, Chris. He could do it all day. You can. They'll give it to you. So I don't know where I don't know where the Cowboys are with him, to be honest, because typical Jerry, waited too long, could have signed him earlier, got paid. They waited, cost them a bundle of money.
Cost him a ton, right?
Yeah, just ridiculous. Because you remember I kept saying they can't be buying into this guy to be waiting. What is the price doesn't go down, the price goes up. So what are you waiting for?
I remember being on shows when it was like, would you give him $28 million? Is he worth $28 million?
And what did he get when he came back? 60?
Well, because of
with the bonus,
it ended last year. I think he made like 75.
That's what I mean.
Just because of it wasn't like he's not making that yearly, but
no, but he got that plus the signing bonus. It was like 75, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. And that you're right. And honestly, Rob, this quickly tangent. The Bengals. Joe Burrow's price isn't going down. Why are you, if they don't sign him now, I don't know what he's asking, but Justin Herbert's 262, I think. The league, most of the league.
All they have to do is come 262 and 50 cents.
Right. 265, whatever, 263. Because next year, if you wait, it might be darn near 300.
But this is Mike Brown, and we're not going on the tangent. This is what I was saying, Chris. When you're dealing with an owner like that who football is his business, he's not making money from other places.
Right.
That's the scary part. Yeah, it's big time.
They sold the stadium rights so they could get some money, to
yeah, but they also have to pay off the practice facility that they finally got built.
Right.
Indoors. So there's an expense. I don't know. You would assume that they'll get it done, but I'm with you. It should have been done already. And in the case of Dak, Jerry falls in love with people, and that's the biggest problem. That's the problem of the Cowboys, is that the owner is leads with his heart, and he likes guys and all that kind of stuff. And
in his mouth.
Right. And you can't do business like that. It's okay. You like people, Chris. But there's a business part of it. And, getting Trey Lance to me was more just taking a flyer. Let's just get him. He's only a fourth-round pick. I don't think that there's like some grandiose plan. I don't. I don't believe there's a plan.
Well, I agree with you in that Trey isn't a threat, certainly not now or anytime soon. But the pressure to me, Rob, just comes the pressure is just how good is Dak? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of an equivalent, but let's say in our business, if you're on a TV or radio show and everybody else is awesome or very good, like there are no questions about the other four people on the show.
Right.
And people are looking at you like, are you good enough? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the pressure. How good is Dak? Is he just a good quarterback, or is he a great quarterback? Is he a guy that can lead you to a Super Bowl?
Are you talking to the producers at MLB Now? I'm just asking you.
Well, no comment, but watch your back. No, I'm just playing. But I think this too, Rob, because a lot of people have talked about whether or not, could the Cowboys move on? If they don't get to the NFC title game, will they move on from Dak? Rob, I think Dak Prescott, unless he's traded for another quarterback, like a better one, I think he's the Cowboys quarterback like at least the next 5 years. Because here's the deal. Even if they get beat in the second round again and you're like, oh, is that good enough? What is the deal? Who are you getting that's better?
No, that's always the thing. It's easy to say you want to replace somebody, but who's the replacement?
Right.
And that's the bugaboo for a lot of teams when you talk about getting rid of somebody, and it ain't that many people out there. Even if you look at the Browns, right? You thought, Deshaun Watson will solve all our problems. Russell Wilson will solve all our problems, right? I mean,
no, right. You're right.
And those things didn't work out.
Right. I was actually saying when Russell was, there was this talk about him being traded from Seattle. You remember I was saying, man, Dallas should trade Dak for it. I mean, that would have been a crazy mistake judging from what happened last year with Russell Wilson. But that shows you can get, even if you trade Dak for a really good quarterback, and Russell was looking like he was going to the Hall of Fame, you still don't know how it's going to pan out. So it's kind of, the devil with Dak Prescott. And he is a good quarterback. He'll keep you relevant. He'll keep you in the hunt. But can he get you over the hump? I still say you don't move on after this season because he is good. And one of these days, you might get to the Super Bowl and win it with him.